61 Green Giant-Beaked Jay, Chapter Preview. You are listening at novelful.audio. At first, Yun Chujiu didn't want to leave Yun Chujiu alone, so she winked at him. He then realized his family's spiritual power was too weak to be of any help. He decided to return and tell his grandfather, hoping he could find a way to save her. Yun Chujiu and the others left. Yun Chujiu sighed in relief. My so-called grandfather thinks I have a master backing me, so he probably won't do anything rash. At least the Yun family is safe for now. Now, I have to figure out how to escape and prevent future problems. Seeing the Yun family gone, Elder Su told the Luoyun sect members, let's get the wormwood. As the drifting cloud sect led Yun Chujiu deeper into the demonic beast forest, Moyu had an idea. Elder Su, let us come along. We can still do some odd jobs, even with our weak spiritual power. Elder Su thought for a second. Fine, but you're responsible for your own safety. Moyu was thrilled and brought his family along. Yun Chujiu, though anxious, acted completely innocent. She'd pick wild berries to eat or act surprised and curious about plants she'd supposedly never seen. The more she acted, the more Elder Su believed her. If she wasn't confident, how could such a young girl be so strong? So, Elder Su remained polite to Yun Chujiu, letting her wander around. Moru was furious. Is Su Yenran's aunt an idiot? Yun Chujiu is obviously lying, and she believes her. How dense. Su Yenran also doubted Yun Chujiu. I can't even get into a top sect like Linghua sect with my qualifications. How could Yun Chujiu, a good-for-nothing, be chosen by an elder from there? They encountered a few tier 2 or 3 beasts along the way, but the drifting cloud sect disciples were at least at the 6th level of spirit enhancement, so dealing with them was easy. Soon, they reached the first layer of the demonic beast forest, the true entrance to the forest. What they had previously traversed was just the outer area. The wormwood was a mid-grade yellow-grade spirit medicine. While not high-ranking, it was often guarded by green giant-beaked jays. These tier 3 demonic beasts could shoot wind blades and attack with their beaks and claws if provoked. Green giant-beaked jays lived in groups, nesting in trees near the wormwood, making it tricky to harvest. Elder Su smirked. Moyu, have your people provoke the green giant-beaked jays and lure them away. The Bai family turned pale. Green giant-beaked jays are tier 3 demonic beasts, and there are so many of them. If we provoke them, will we even survive? The Bai family looked pleadingly at Moyu, hoping he would refuse. Moyu hesitated. Elder Su, my people's spiritual power is weak. I don't know. Elder Su scoffed. If you refuse, leave now. Moyu gritted his teeth. If I offend Elder Su, we'll never get into the drifting cloud sect. Go. Don't worry, if you live, the Bai family will take care of you. If you die, your family will be handsomely compensated. Refuse, and well. Moyu's expression was ruthless. Though angry and resentful, the Bai family couldn't resist. They gritted their teeth and provoked the green giant-beaked jays. Once the birds were lured away, the drifting cloud sect quickly began harvesting the wormwood. Yun Chujiu considered using the green giant-beaked jays to kill everyone, but decided against it. First, I'm not sure I can escape. Second, even if they die, the Su family and the drifting cloud sect will investigate, and the Yun family will still suffer. 62 Demonic Beast Rebellion, Chapter Preview. You are listening at novelful.audio. After the drifting cloud sect folks finished stripping the wormwood tree, they hauled tail. They hadn't gotten far when a chorus of shrieking jays broke out. The green giant-beaked jays had obviously realized they'd been had when they got back to their nest. Turns out, 2 legs can't outrun wings. About 15 minutes later, over 20 green giant-beaked jays dove down from the sky. Yun Chujiu glanced up and dove into the nearest bushes. Are those crows? They're bigger than golden eagles. And they're spitting out wind blades. These things are practically bombers. Yun Chujiu had found a good hiding spot, tucked behind some bushes and a huge rock. She was torn. Part of her wanted the Jays to wipe out the Drifting Cloud sect, but she was also worried the Su family and the sect would hunt her down if she got involved. Yun Chujiu cautiously peeked out. The Drifting Cloud sect members were throwing everything they had, fireballs, wind blades, water arrows, all aimed at the green Giant-Beaked Jays. The Drifting Cloud sect was quickly losing ground. That's when Elder Su stepped up. Elder Su seemed to have some kind of protective magic item. The wind blade stopped a foot away from him. He raised his hand and unleashed wind blades of his own on the Jays. Elder Su's wind blades were much bigger than the ones the green Giant-Beaked Jays could manage. And he was launching them in volleys of 3, packing a serious punch. Yun Chujiu thought to herself, that Elder Su's got skills. Definitely a martial practitioner. I'll need a solid plan to deal with that. After Elder Su intervened, the Drifting Cloud sect started to gain an advantage. The green Giant-Beaked Jays, pissed off, finally flew off. Without pausing to catch their breath, the group kept running. Yun Chujiu tagged along, figuring it wasn't smart to be alone in the demon beast forest. They reached a relatively open area, and Elder Su, judging it safe enough, called for a rest stop. He took a head count. The Drifting Cloud sect had some minor scrapes, but nothing serious. He was pleased. If they hadn't used the Bai siblings as bait, things would have been a lot worse. He softened his attitude toward the siblings. Just then, the ground started shaking hard. They could hear the distant roars of beasts. Bad news. Stampede incoming. Everybody, run. Elder Su yelled, his face paling. He grabbed Xuanhuan and bolted. The rest of the group took off in a panic. Yun Chujiu rolled her eyes. No one can outrun a demon beast, especially not a whole horde. She picked out the thickest tree and scrambled up it. She secured herself to a branch with her belt to keep from falling. Settling onto the branch, Yun Chujiu replayed the day's events. She felt seriously jinxed. First, she runs into that jerk. Then, she gets on the Drifting Cloud sect's bad side. Barely escapes the Jays, and now she's staring down a stampede. Why couldn't these beasts stay put in their own territory? As she grumbled, the ground shook even harder, and a massive wave of demon beasts thundered into view. Yun Chujiu shrunk back, terrified. Holy crap, what are these things? Some were bigger than elephants, like walking mountains. They seemed to be running from something, barreling forward blindly. Some of the weaker ones were getting trampled underfoot. Yun Chujiu couldn't help but feel relieved she hadn't stuck with Elder Su and the others. At this speed, the beasts would have caught them in no time. Just as she was patting herself on the back, one of the giant beasts slammed its hoof into her tree. Yun Chujiu suddenly realized the meaning of hoist by your own petard. Because she was strapped to the branch with her own belt, she was stuck. 63 Going further and further, chapter preview. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Everything happened in a blink. And Feng, who was secretly watching over Yun Chujiu, didn't have a chance to react. He felt like the world was ending. Why did weird stuff always happen around her? This was just the first level of the demon beast forest. How could there be such a massive stampede? And 8th and 9th rank beasts were mixed in. Those guys were supposed to be chilling on the 4th level. What were they doing down here? Just when Feng thought things couldn't get any worse, he spotted her, the little black-haired girl riding that 9th rank mighty elephant. He started to go after her, but a horde of beasts roared past, forcing him further away, and Feng cursed beaming under his breath. Why did the Prime Emperor insist he only intervene if the girl's life was in direct danger? If it weren't for that rule, he would have wiped out those dumb sects and hauled the little girl back to Yi City already. Meanwhile, Yun Chujiu was clinging for dear life to the mighty elephant's long hair. She was lucky she'd thought to yank off her belt and use it to leap onto the thing's back at the last second. Otherwise, she'd be toast. The mighty elephant was so huge it didn't even notice her. It just kept running, letting her ride along. Yun Chujiu quickly spotted Elder Su and the others huddled in a tree. From what she could see, the Drifting Cloud sect had taken some serious losses. A lot of people must have gotten trampled. Elder Su and the others saw Yun Chujiu too, and their jaws dropped. how was she riding a 9th-rank beast? It was unbelievable. Elder Su was now even more convinced that Yun Chujiu had some powerful backer. She must have been hiding her true abilities. How else could she have tamed a mighty elephant? Yun Chujiu felt like she'd landed in a candy store, but a huge problem was brewing. Once these beasts stopped running, she'd be history. After what felt like forever, Yun Chujiu realized the beasts weren't running out of the forest, but sideways. She was beyond frustrated. The demon beast forest stretched across the whole continent, and she had no idea where she was going. Just when she thought things couldn't get any scarier, several black dots appeared in the sky. They were airships of some kind. These ships looked way fancier than the drifting cloud sects. Yun Chujiu knew she had to try something. Grabbing the belt that had almost killed her, she waved it like crazy. Finally, luck was on her side. One of the ships descended and tossed out a rope. Yun Chujiu grabbed it and started climbing for all she was worth. The people on board started hauling her up, and soon she was pulled into the ship. "Thank you so much for saving me. You're all heroes," she said, all sweetness and light. "Little girl, how did a regular person like you, without any spiritual power, end up on the back of that mighty elephant?" asked a square-faced old man. Looking puzzled, Yun Chujiu was confused. She knew she could cultivate. Why did they think she was powerless? She didn't have time to think about it. "I was training with my family when we got caught in the stampede," she blurted out. "And the elephant?" Yun Chujiu said, looking embarrassed. "The tree I was hiding in got knocked down. I landed on the elephant. If you hadn't come along, I'd be dead meat." The old man burst out laughing. "You sure are lucky, kid. And don't call us heroes. We're not heroes. We're just cultivators from the spiritual flower sect." Yun Chujiu felt like her luck was finally changing. The spiritual flower sect. Yes. She was going to latch onto this opportunity. 64 The Thick-Skinned, Chapter Preview. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Spirit Radiance Sect. Wow. You mean the Spirit Radiance Sect? The top sect in the whole world. To us regular folks, you guys are practically gods. Yun Chujiu's face was a perfect picture of surprise, admiration, and a touch of envy. Inside the flying contraption, people unconsciously straightened up, feeling pretty good about themselves. "This kid sure knew how to butter them up," the square-faced old guy chuckled. "You've got a way with words, that's for sure. Seriously, Elder Immortal. I mean it. The Spirit Radiance Sect is like some impossible, magical place to me. If I could even just be a scullery maid there, I'd be thanking my lucky stars for the rest of my life." Yun Chujiu's eyes sparkled, like this was her ultimate dream come true. A muffled voice rumbled, "Hey, Mountain Master, how about we just take her back with us? She's got a sob story that'll break your heart." It was a fat old man. Yun Chujiu was thrilled. Yes. Grandpa Fatty, you're my hero. I owe you big time. I'll pay you back double later. Yun Chujiu's face lit up, and she gasped, "Thank you, Mountain Master. Thank you, Immortals. If I get to go to Spirit Radiance Sect, I swear I'll work my tail off, be dedicated, volunteer for anything, pay attention to every last detail, be super diligent, and just bury myself in hard work. I'll make scrubbing pots my whole life's purpose." That she got more and more worked up, and tears welled up in her eyes. "Wah! I thought I was doomed to be a complete loser forever. I never dreamed something good could come out of all this trouble. Meeting you immortal elders is a miracle. Please, let me bow to you." Yun Chujiu started to drop to her knees, but the square-faced old guy raised a hand, and Yun Chujiu felt a strong force holding her up. She pretended not to want to be stopped and blurted out, "Immortal, let me show my respect. Meeting you is like a rebirth for me. You're my saviors." Clearly, they weren't used to such a shameless, clingy person. The flying thing went silent for a moment. Yun Chujiu, afraid they'd change their minds, hurried on, "Immortals, are you looking down on me because I'm useless and can't cultivate? Wah. Never mind. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Just pretend I didn't say anything. Her face went from sunshine to complete misery, like all the life had drained out of her. The fat old guy couldn't take it anymore. Mountain Master, you see how pathetic she is. We might as well take her back. The square-faced elder sighed. Elder son, you know the rules. Even a servant has to pass our sect's 3 trials. She doesn't have any spiritual energy. There's no way she could pass. Oh, right. The fat old man scratched his head. Sorry, kid. The Mountain Master's right. I forgot those old geezer's rules. Yun Chujiu wasn't giving up that easily. She wiped her eyes with her sleeve and said stubbornly, as long as there's a chance, I'll give it my all. Please, just let me try the assessment. They all looked at the kid with new eyes. Before, they just felt sorry for her, but now they kind of liked her. With that kind of spirit, she'd be a great student, if only she could actually cultivate. What's the big deal? Here, kid, take my token and sign up for the assessment. If you actually pass, come find us at Middle Peak. We'll look out for you. The fat old man pulled out a token and handed it to Yun Chujiu. Yun Chujiu practically bounced with joy. Asterisk whether I pass or not, with this thing, I can at least fool Elder Su. Score, asterisk. 65 9-colored Immortal Vermilion Bird, Chapter Preview. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Thanks, Elder Son. I won't let you down. Yun Chujiu's face was flushed, and her eyes were brimming with tears. Anyone would be moved seeing her, the chubby Elder Son chuckled, a little embarrassed. Hey, it's no big deal, kiddo. If the rules weren't so strict, I'd have brought you back to the Spirit Radiance sect myself. Yun Chujiu said earnestly, I understand, Elder Sunday rules are rules. The Linghua sect is so huge, it has to have them. I'm just grateful for the chance to even try out, that the others nodded in agreement. This kid wasn't just tough, she was reasonable too. Not bad at all. Alright, we still have things to do. Stick with us for a bit, and we'll drop you back home when we're done, Elder Son said kindly. Yun Chujiu nodded and plopped down in a corner. The inside of the airship was pretty spacious. The Mountain Master, Elder Son, and 3 other elders were all gazing out the window. They started talking, not bothering to keep their voices down around Yun Chujiu. What threat could a kid who couldn't cultivate possibly pose? Looks like our hunch was right. The reason these demon beasts are acting so crazy is definitely because the 9-colored Immortal Vermilion Bird is about to hatch. Exactly. They must be sensing danger, which is why they're running scared. Only a mythical creature like the 9-colored Immortal Vermilion Bird could cause that kind of reaction. Mountain Master, we've got company. People from the other 4 peaks and the big 3 sects are here, too. The 9-colored Immortal Vermilion Bird is a prize. If we couldn't get a premonition of its hatching, they'd have already made their move. Yun Chujiu didn't understand all the details, but she knew one thing, there was treasure to be had. Treasure, Yun Chujiu's heart pounded. Asterisk 9-colored Immortal Vermilion Bird. Sounds amazing. I wish I could get my hands on it, asterisk. But she also knew her place. With so many powerful people around, she'd be lucky to even catch a glimpse of it, let alone get her hands on it. After about an hour, the airship began its descent. Elder Son grabbed Yun Chujiu by the scruff of her neck and jumped out. Yun Chujiu nearly had a heart attack. Asterisk holy moly. That's gotta be hundreds of feet in the air, right? One wrong move and she'd be roadkill. Elder Son saw her pale face and couldn't help but chuckle. Relax, kiddo, we're on a flying sword. Yun Chujiu then noticed the flying sword beneath Elder Son's feet. They were standing on it. Yun Chujiu gave a nervous laugh and began looking around with curiosity. They were deep in the demonic beasts' forest. It was eerily quiet. The demon beasts that normally roamed here had all cleared out. Elder Son, why is it so hot? Yun Chujiu noticed the temperature rising as they went deeper. The 9-colored immortal vermilion bird is a fire-type mythical beast. It generates a lot of heat when it's about to hatch. Elder Sun wasn't worried about giving her information and told her the truth. The 9-colored immortal vermilion bird must be really beautiful, right? Yun Chujiu asked, her curiosity piqued. Huh, you're a trip. The 9-colored immortal vermilion bird is stunning, but people aren't after its looks. It's about its power. It's a mythical beast, after all. When we get there, I'll put you on a branch. Stay put, okay? It's going to get messy. Got it. Don't worry, Elder Sun. I value my life. Yun Chujiu agreed dutifully. 66 Lightning Tribulation, Chapter Preview. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The temperature kept climbing, and Yun Chujiu was soon drenched in sweat. Almost there. The 9-colored immortal vermilion bird's territory should be just ahead. Elder Sun said, his voice buzzing with excitement. Elder Sun, besides the egg, are there any young 9-colored immortal vermilion birds around? Yun Chujiu asked, curious. The 9-colored immortal vermilion bird is so rare because there's only one of them. Before it dies, it immolates itself in flames, turning back into an egg. It's reborn after many years. Rebirth through fire, like a phoenix. Yun Chujiu blinked. Phoenix. Elder Sun's voice jumped. The 9-colored immortal vermilion bird is rare, sure, but it doesn't compare to a phoenix. A phoenix is a mythical beast. Just a legend, though. No one's ever seen one, Yun Chujiu nodded. Phoenixes were just legends in later generations. Elder Sun propped Yun Chujiu up in a thick tree, telling her to stay put before rejoining the others. Soon, the rest of the group arrived. Many spotted Yun Chujiu in the tree, but they ignored her as soon as they saw she was just a little girl with no spiritual power. They were focused on snatching the 9-colored immortal vermilion bird once it hatched. Yun Chujiu's eyes fixed on a deep pit nearby. The soil around it was fiery red, like molten rock. Inside the pit was a snow-white egg, about the size of an ostrich egg. It was already cracked. Seeing the egg, Yun Chujiu's first thought was, wow. That's a huge egg. You could make a decent-sized frittata with that. Then her second thought was, this lousy egg can hatch a 9-colored immortal vermilion bird. Doesn't look like anything special. As Yun Chujiu mused, the atmosphere grew tenser. Elder Sun and the Spirit Radiant sect formed an alliance. The other factions also grouped together. Even if they couldn't get the vermilion bird itself, a feather or a drop of blood from the grown bird would be a priceless treasure. Yun Chujiu couldn't help but purse her lips. That 9-colored immortal vermilion bird is kinda pathetic. It's not even born yet, and people are already plotting to pluck its feathers and bleed it. TSK, it's even worse off than me. The cracks on the eggshell grew thicker. The 9-colored immortal vermilion bird was about to hatch. Everyone's breathing quickened as they watched each other warily, ready to pounce. Suddenly, the sky went dark, and storm clouds gathered. Everyone looked around, confused. Was it going to rain? Why the sudden change? But Yun Chujiu felt a bad omen in her gut. Crap. Is it gonna be lightning again? She loved soaking up the power of lightning, but not with so many witnesses. How could she explain getting struck without raising suspicion? As Yun Chujiu panicked, a crack ripped through the clouds, and a bolt of purple lightning shot down. Ah! Good heavens, it's Tribulation lightning. It must be for the 9-colored immortal vermilion bird. Everyone, scatter. Purple Tribulation lightning. Its power is immense. Activate your defensive gear. I wonder if the newborn bird can survive such a brutal strike. If it gets fried to a crisp, all our effort will be for nothing. Just when everyone expected the lightning to strike, the purple bolt strangely froze in midair. 67 Strike, Chapter Preview. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The lightning was freaking out. Was it supposed to hit the egg in the pit, or the girl up in the tree? Nobody said there were two targets. The lightning was going haywire. One minute it was heading for the pit, the next it was aiming for Yun Chujiu. The egg and Yun Chujiu were fine, but everyone else was terrified. Wait a minute. This lightning doesn't seem to be after the 9-colored vermilion bird's egg. Is it trying to kill us? Panicked, they started bickering and pointing fingers. The lightning was furious. It blasted the crowd. One poor guy was instantly fried to a crisp. Thunder rumbled, and the rest scattered like cockroaches. A rare bird was one thing, but their own lives were more important. They decided to lay low until the storm passed, then come back to snatch the vermilion bird. The lightning had learned its lesson. It would zap the girl in the tree first, then the egg in the pit. Seeing everyone run, Yun Chujiu hatched a plan. She glanced at the wobbly lightning and quickly climbed down the tree. She grinned, waving her hand at the lightning. Come on, baby. Give me your best shot. That the lightning was about to explode. This was the worst day ever for it. Not only were there two targets, but one of them was a total nut job. I'll get you. That the lightning struck Yun Chujiu with everything it had. Yun Chujiu sneered. This lightning was way weaker than the last one. She didn't even flinch. Maybe she developed a tolerance, or maybe it was something else, but Yun Chujiu acted like nothing happened. She put her hands behind her back and said cockily, too weak. Way too weak. Is that all you got? That the dark clouds trembled with rage. This was too much. It had never seen anything so bizarre in 10,000 years. Kill her. Lightning bolts rained down. The escapees couldn't help but feel relieved. Wow. Thank goodness we got out of there. What in the world is going on? We must have really made the heavens angry. Elder son suddenly slapped his forehead. Oh no. I forgot about the girl. She's probably been fried by now. That he was consumed with guilt. It's all my fault for bringing her here. That the other elders felt the same. What a waste of a life. Don't beat yourself up, Elder Sunday. It was her time. If we hadn't saved her before, she would have been eaten by a monster. Today was just her day to go. The square-faced elder sighed, trying to comfort him. Elder son just sighed, but he still held a sliver of hope that she had somehow survived. Meanwhile, the girl they were talking about was having the time of her life. To her, the lightning wasn't a threat, it was a free power-up. Yun Chujiu had been worried that she wouldn't be able to handle so much lightning, but she noticed that whenever the energy in her dantian reached a certain level, something inside would devour it. She was curious. She'd have to check her dantian when she got back. What was hiding in there? As Yun Chujiu absorbed the lightning, the egg in the pit finally cracked open, and a small, black creature crawled out. 68 Two Wicked People, Chapter Preview. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The little black bird wriggled its way out of the eggshell, then blinked its beady green eyes, confused. What the heck happened to my epic lightning strike? Did it miss? The tribulation thunder, which the little black bird thought had terrible aim, was practically in tears. Yun Chujiu pointed at the dark clouds and yelled, "Hey! You gonna fry me or what? Get on with it!" That the dark clouds in the sky churned with fury. Who is this nutjob? Why can't I off him? Anxious to check things out, the little black bird flapped its stubby wings and hopped out of the pit, still clutching the cracked eggshell in its claws. Seeing the little black bird emerge, the tribulation thunder finally found a target to unleash its fury on and zapped it. Ouch! You blind fool, you dare attack me? The little black bird landed hard. Instead of dodging, it cocked one wing on its hip and used the other to point accusingly at the dark clouds, cursing a blue streak. The purple lightning tribulation exploded in rage. If I can't kill the weirdo, fine, but I can definitely take out a scrawny chicken like you. Prepare to be fried. Fried. After 8 consecutive lightning strikes, the tribulation thunder was dismayed to find the scrawny chicken completely unscathed. and burping, the Tribulation Thunder was losing all hope. This was just too much. A black-hearted girl and a black-hearted bird, you're both just awful. Completely defeated, the Tribulation Thunder reluctantly went home. Yun Chujiu was staring intently at the little black bird. Oh, come on. I've never seen a human so dark. The little black bird exaggeratedly covered its beak with a wing. Black Crow, you got a death wish? Yun Chujiu kicked at the little black bird. The little black bird flapped its tiny wings and dodged Yun Chujiu's foot. You try to kick me? You got a death wish. What the heck? That's my line. Are you brain dead? Is that all you can do? Repeat what I say. Yun Chujiu picked up a rock and chucked it at the little black bird. Ouch! You actually dared to throw a rock at me. I'll never forgive you for this. The little black bird's eyes bugged out, and the feathers on its head stood on end. What's a little chicken like you gonna do about it? Yun Chujiu sneered. Asterisk, this thing is supposed to be a 9-colored immortal vermilion bird. The person who named it must be colorblind. It's just a talking crow, star. The little black bird opened its mouth, and a purple fireball shot toward Yun Chujiu. Yun Chujiu quickly dodged. She hadn't expected the ugly thing to have some skills. Ha ha ha. See how powerful I am now. I'm gonna roast you alive. The little black bird arrogantly spat out more fireballs. Yun Chujiu dodged left and right. Although she wasn't burned, she was looking pretty ragged. An idea sparked in her mind. Sigh. You poor little thing, no matter how strong you are, you can't escape your fate. Your little fireball might work on me, but when they come, you won't stand a chance. I've heard all about it. They'll snatch you up, force you to fight for them, and divide up your feathers and blood. It's just heartbreaking. You'll end up a bald chicken. Yun Chujiu said, a gleam of satisfaction in her eyes. The little black bird was furious, but it knew Yun Chujiu was telling the truth. Its arrogance instantly evaporated, and its tiny wings drooped. Asterisk, I don't want to be their pet. I don't want to be plucked, star. Ahem, well, I just happen to know a way you can avoid getting plucked and bled dry. Yun Chujiu's eyes flickered with mischief. 69 Taking advantage of the situation, chapter preview. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The little black bird's green eyes widened. What way? Look, I'm a sucker for a sob story. I wasn't even gonna bother with you, but since fate brought us together, I guess I'll take you in. If you swear loyalty, I'll figure out how to get you out of here. Yun Chujiu said, wrinkling her nose. The little black bird nearly passed out from sheer rage. Its tiny wings trembled as it pointed at her. You're taking advantage of me. Kicking me when I'm down. Wow, fancy words. Listen up, you little shrimp, making me your master is the smartest thing you could do. You saw it yourself, I got a super rare thunder spirit root. I'm gonna be a legend, and I always have my peeps' backs. Nobody messes with you if you're with me. Yun Chujiu explained patiently, like a wolf sweet-talking Little Red Riding Hood. The little black bird remained unimpressed. You're too weak. If I become your pet, they'll just kill you, too. Yun Chujiu wagged a finger. Wrong. 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 My spirit energy might be weak, but this spirit energy is off the charts. She tapped her head. I'm wicked smart. Everyone thinks I'm a total zero when it comes to spiritual power. But how else would a nobody like me get chosen by the 9-colored immortal Vermilion? That the little black bird rolled its eyes. Fine, I'll make a contract, but no master pet stuff. It's gotta be equal. Deal. I don't want you dying with me either. Hurry up. They'll be back any minute. Yun Chujiu urged. Though reluctant, the little black bird didn't have much choice. It flapped its wings and started weaving seals, then pecked Yun Chujiu's finger. A complex pattern appeared in the sky, then vanished between Yun Chujiu's eyebrows. Yun Chujiu stomped her foot, furious. Are you brain dead? You made a huge scene. Now how am I supposed to protect you? That the little black bird puffed out its chest. Hey, you didn't say anything about that. Aren't you supposed to be so smart? Figure it out. Idiot. Hide your immortal beast mojo, pronto. Yun Chujiu glared, the little black bird harumphed and suppressed its aura. Yun Chujiu rolled around in the dirt, grabbed a handful of ash, and smeared it all over her face. She then messed up her hair. Ha ha ha. Crazy chick. You look even uglier now. The little black bird cackled, shaking with laughter. Yun Chujiu grabbed the little black bird by the neck, scooped up another handful of dirt, and rubbed it all over the bird. The little black bird nearly choked. It clutched its chest with one wing and pointed at Yun Chujiu with the other, launching into a string of curses. Yun Chujiu ignored it. She glanced at the scattered eggshell, rolled her eyes, and a plan formed. She found a charred piece of wood, the kind struck by lightning, and stuffed it into the eggshell, then tossed it back into the pit. No. My snacks. The little black bird wailed. Shut it. One more peep out of you, and you'll be the snack. Yun Chujiu snapped. The little black bird immediately went silent. This girl was scary when she was serious. I'm gonna hide you under my clothes. You better play along, got it? That the little black bird knew the situation was dire. Yeah, I'm a genius. Now hurry. Someone's coming. Yun Chujiu quickly shoved the little black bird into her clothes, then found a relatively untouched spot, flopped down like a turtle on its back, and pretended to be dead. 70 Fire-Breathing Crow vs 9-Colored Immortal Vermilion Bird, Chapter Preview. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Dude, Lou, what the heck was that? Lightning that intense? I've never seen anything like it. No kidding. Seriously scary. Good thing we bailed when we did, or we'd be toast. That 9-colored immortal vermilion bird in the pit? Something's up with that thing. Even a mythical beast wouldn't pull down lightning like that on a newborn, especially not that terrifying. Holy moly, you're saying that chick's a threat to the natural order? Probably. Heaven's trying to wipe it out. If that's the case, then that 9-colored immortal vermilion bird is good as gone. Anything that defies the heavens isn't gonna make it. The little black bird hiding in Yun Chujiu's clothes muttered under its breath, bunch of morons. You're the ones who are toast. I'm doing just fine, thank you very much. But hold on, did anyone else see that symbol in the sky earlier? What was that about? Looked kind of like a Dharma seal, but not really. Dharma seals aren't usually that flashy. Maybe it was some kind of seal or a warning from the big guy upstairs. That while everyone was jawing, someone yelped. Hey! Check it out. There's a body. Yun Chujiu internally snorted. Who is this clown? Couldn't you just say, there's someone over there? Gotta call it a body. I'll give you a body to be scared of later. Elder Son was the first one to rush over. Oh no. Kiddo. Poor thing. I failed you. Elder Son scooped up Yun Chujiu, feeling super guilty. Yun Chujiu slowly blinked her eyes open, clutched her head, and screamed, Help. Lightning. It's killing me. Save me. Elder Son nearly dropped her in shock. Then, relief flooded his face and he started to soothe her. It's okay, kiddo, it's okay. The lightning's gone. Yun Chujiu glanced around, still freaked out, then latched onto Elder Son and started bawling. Wah! You scared me half to death. I didn't do anything wrong, so why all the lightning? This is too much. And it was all purple lightning. It's all because of that bird. Wah, I'm so scared, Yun Chujiu wailed, but her words didn't stop everyone from trying to figure out what she was talking about. That bird? Which bird? Could it be the 9-colored immortal vermilion bird? Hey kid, calm down. Tell us what happened. A wizened old man with a face like a monkey shoved his way through the crowd, impatient as hell. Yun Chujiu trembled and tugged at Elder Son's sleeve. I was watching from the tree, and I saw you all running around. I wanted to climb down and run too, but then that stupid crow flew into my face and made me fall out of the tree. Yun Chujiu pulled the little black bird out of her clothes and glared at it. It's all this thing's fault. If it wasn't for it, I would have been gone with you guys. That the little black bird stamped its tiny feet and snapped, "Dumb girl, are you crazy? If you rat me out, I'm finished." "Idiot, it's a feint. Just play along and act like a crow." Tears welled up in the little black bird's eyes as it opened its beak and let out a pitiful caw. 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 Everyone's attention snapped to the little black bird. Wait, could that actually be the 9-colored immortal vermilion bird? Someone asked, sounding skeptical. Dude, are you blind? That's obviously a fire-breathing crow chick. The 9-colored immortal vermilion bird is supposed to be gorgeous. That thing's ugly as sin. No way it's the same bird. Besides, that cry sounds like a fire-breathing crow. I heard the 9-colored immortal vermilion bird's cry is like music. But all the other animals bolted. Why would a fire-breathing crow still be hanging around? The monkey-faced old man's eyes sparkled as he stared at the little black bird.